Oh man, I had to rush to get here. I'm not ashamed to say it. I may have broken a couple of traffic laws in the process, but I think it was worth it. So was on earlier with Jay Thomas on WDAY. I've been running behind schedule like all day long. I'm running on CPT, and if you don't know what that is, that's colored folks time, colored people time. So, dude, why are you sideways? What's going on, brother?
Something happened with my phone this week, and I'm not a technology guru like Mr. Superstar there on the other end. Let me change this because I generally got to keep my phone plugged in when we go because my battery won't last.
You got to put that thing on auto rotate, brother.
Yeah, well, okay. You want me to do it now? How do I now? Let's just leave the damn thing alone for tonight. So make sure we're good. There's no, if you're running late, that means that, we don't want to have any other things upsetting the show.
That's what I'm thinking. Dude, I'm telling you, I made that drive from Fargo in record time. And I hope we had Sheriff Jesse Johnner on. So I hope he's not listening right now.
It ain't illegal till they catch you, brother.
Like I was telling that dude, I like Jesse. I remember interviewing him, God, it seems like a very, very long time ago. And I remember meeting him. And when I met him, I'm like, damn, I got to get back in the gym. He is a big boy. In the South, we call those guys cornbread Fred. Cornbread Fred. Yeah, this dude, he's a massive dude. So anyway, Leon Francis, I'm a little out of breath because I had to run down the stairs, chase a dog out of here, and just the whole mess, and sit down, click go live, and that whole thing. But I'm your host, Blackbeard Logic, Leon Francis, on with my good buddy. I call him, I don't know if he likes it or not, but I call him Big Boss Bob Wheeler because to me, he's a big boss dog.
I had it in my nickname today, man.
Awesome.
I put in Big Boss on the sign in.
Okay, good.
I'm owning it. I mean, I am big, right?
I see that. Big boss. Yes, sir.
See, I own it. I love it.
But yeah, so we're going to be talking about a ton of things. And I had a show sheet up, and now I have no idea. That means the 8-year-old has been in my studio because everything is discombobulated. God. But I love that kid. I did not have. We have this thing where if we pass each other and we're not aware, we give each other a stomach punch, a gut check. So I'll come in the door flying, and he'll be waiting right there, and I'm just
As long as he doesn't start aiming low, brother, you're good.
Oh no, first couple times we did that. Yeah, there was some, hey, time out, buddy. If you want a little sister in the future, then yeah, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the biggest story. Man, it's been a really big news week, nationally, internationally, locally. That whole thing. Me and Jay kind of chopped up a little bit of it today. Didn't get too deep into the woods because Jay's not that type of dude,
But that's just not his thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. But what I want to talk about today, and I'm looking for my doggone top 5 headlines of the day. I'm getting a little bit of back. I don't know if that's on my end or your end, so this week, top 5 headlines: U.S. captures Venezuela's Maduro, and I did a video on that. I think that's awesome. We're going to talk about it. Iran right now is kind of in chaos, and Bob, I don't know how I feel about that. At any given day, I can be on. I'm like bipolar on that, so I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. Just kind of dig into it, and get your 2 cents in. Obviously, the big story that's going on now is the ICE shooting. Yeah, I think I'm getting some feedback now.
Is that from me or from you?
I think that's from you.
Okay, bear with me.
Okay, I'll just go through these. Minneapolis ICE officer ended up having to shoot an idiot who fafoed, in my opinion. We're going to unpack that a little bit. And as a matter of fact, over like between that time and this time, I think ICE agents have shot 3 people, 2 with Tren de la Agua ties. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. Then Russia is escalating tensions in Ukraine. Trump is pulling back out of like 60 global initiatives, which I think is great, because I think that these people depend on us way too much. And then they're little communist dictatorships. That's what they are. And they're getting taken over. Like, why would we listen to the EU? To me, that just, no, absolutely not. And then this one is a big one. Somali couriers moved nearly $700 million in straight up cash through the Minneapolis airport in luggage in 1 year. 1 year they did this. Think about that. And I said this on air today. If I pulled out of the WZFG parking lot and Sheriff John was right behind me, and they pulled me over, and I told them, yeah, I got a sack of cash back there, like $50,000. Where do you think that money is going? Yeah.
It ain't going with you.
It ain't going home with me. You better believe it. And I don't have to be tied to any criminal organization or criminal enterprise, no drugs, no nothing. The fact that I have it, they're going to question that. They're going to have a dog come around, and because money is money, the dog is going to hit on it, and then it's gone. It's called civil asset forfeiture. That's what it's called, and it's something that people like me have been against since the beginning of time, and I don't agree with it. But these people were able to, in a duffel bag, like one instance, there was $1.7 million in a duffel bag. And
is that even possible?
They allowed this person to get on this plane and fly out. Somali. All of these are Somali. Let me backtrack. This money, all of them, none of them were white folks. None of them were black folks. These were Somalians. $700 million. And you wonder why Tim Walz is deflecting. You wonder why? This is why. The amount of fraud coming out of... No, I'm not going to do that now. We're going to talk about it. Plus, Fargo always offers us something in the way of crazy. So, right now, you got Josh Bochee. Right now, he's a... yeah, I know. I get that same... When I say his name, Bob, that's what I do. But he's being groomed, no pun intended, by John Strand to be the mayor of Fargo. In my opinion, again, no pun intended, massive mistake. Massive mistake. When I think of leadership, those two chuckle nuts don't have the testosterone levels to be in any sort of leadership. And that's my humble opinion. And I don't care if people don't like it. I don't see them as leaders. They're much too feminine to me. That whole thing that they did when they invited that Florida teacher that wanted to teach about her partner and her gender and all of that crap to her kindergarten class, and they wrote a letter of support to that idiot and invited her to come up here and teach it in North Dakota, in Fargo.
Give an open invitation to all Florida teachers that like that to come to North Dakota.
Yeah,
I think that's what they did. Yeah.
And we do not need leadership like that. I think that would be a hard. And the scary thing to me is how many people that I've spoken to say, Josh is nice and blah 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 and this and that, and I'm like, yeah. I don't care how nice he is. He can be a total dick to me. I'm good with that as long as he's a fiscal conservative. He's got some semblance of morality, just a little bit. Just give me a little bit.
Not be that effeminate, whether you're a man or a woman, and lead.
No.
Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. It can't be done.
No.
If Fargo does this, they get exactly what they deserve.
And I've been saying that. I was a little bummed today because I found out that Michelle Turnberg is not going to run.
I thought she was.
Yeah, I've been behind the scenes. Come on, Michelle, come on. But she has some actual legitimate, concerns. You don't want to give up that seat. You don't want to let a liberal slip in on. But I do want the ward system. I think that would be a good thing because it'll add 2 seats. But that's neither here nor there. We're just going to talk about Josh and how horrible he is and how absolutely no way. Be a literal, no pun intended, crap show. Anyway, let's get back to the wild week in the world. Where do you want to start there, Bob?
It doesn't matter. It's all hitting us close to home, whether it be from Minnesota or whether it's in Venezuela. There's so many worldly repercussions that we could be looking at from everything, right? And that includes Minneapolis. I guess Venezuela started it out, and first off with that's what our military is capable of. And it was a pinpoint extraction. Okay. I don't know what the civilian situation was like casualty wise, but I know there was 32 higher ranking military individuals, from what I was told, that were taken out. Maduro was smuggled out of the country, and it was over with. We had basically a warrant for his arrest. There was a wanted, probably wanted dead or alive on him of what, 50 million or some darn thing. I mean, this was something
50 million
that just needed to be done. And amongst our friends, there's so much of a debate constitutionally right now on whether the president had the right to do that. I've never pretended to be a constitutional scholar, but with all of my heart, this was legal. This was needed. This was necessary. But look at the people of Venezuela that celebrated when that dirty SOB was gone. Yeah. How many of those Venezuelans, thank you, America, thank you, President Trump, thank you, thank you, thank you. They have an opportunity. The guy wasn't even duly elected. He stole his election. Those people have an opportunity. And I'm not about the world police thing, bud. I hate the idea of us going, go back to beware of entangling relationships, like Thomas Jefferson said. I don't like having our nose in these other people's business. But when we have to also look at the atrocities, it's the reason we were in Somalia the first time back in the 90s. Okay, it's the reason we have anything to do with these Somalians now, because we stuck our nose into their business, but we're always so much damn do-gooders, right? But if we want to get an opportunity, and not like Japan back in World War II, we don't need to be rebuilding nations we've destroyed. Make sure that these individuals in Venezuela have an opportunity to govern themselves, okay, set up whatever government they want for the most part, okay, with our hands in it. I would kind of like to see a constitutional republic, or a democracy. I don't like democracy. I like a constitutional republic. And make sure they're set up good and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
What did we do by doing this? We stopped China. We stopped Russia from having access to boatloads of oil. And if you want to blame it on oil, you go right ahead and blame it on oil, people. That it was all about oil, but it wasn't. And I'm proud that President Trump, Pete Hegseth, and our United States military went in as quickly and as rapidly as they could, minimal damage, and pulled the hell back out.
Yep. And see, I'm right there. I looked at all of the pink-haired with nose rings folks over here, protesting. The same people that were out there a week ago with no kings, signs, and now they're like free the dictator, and you're like, wait a minute, make that math, math. First point. Second point. I think it is 100%. So why did Biden convict this guy, put a warrant out on him for $15 million, stamped it up to $25 million if we weren't going to do it? If that thing had no teeth.
Smoke and mirrors, buddy, smoke and mirrors. Pretend to look good. Pretend to look good. The whole, much ado about nothing.
Right.
And then, it's the typical Washington, D.C. thing. We've been putting up with that for centuries, decades and decades, right?
Yeah.
And now people are just blown away by us having a president that demands action and goes for it, gets it done. He's not pussyfooting around. He's not playing games with these people. You screw with us, you're screwed. It's not a Biden. It's not an Obama. It's not a Ronald Reagan. Did pretty good. But nobody else is compared until Trump.
Yeah.
It's
and I'm right there too. So Trump is, and folks don't understand. They don't realize what you're seeing here is a guy that is about action. He's not about the political pandering. He's not about the niceties of politics and all of that stuff. He's about action. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And if that's too much for you, then, this whole thing is just a farce. And I think that Trump needs people behind him like Pete Hegseth, who came in and said, you know what? We're done with this gender nonsense. You got to actually have some, we have to actually have a standard here in the military that we haven't had in a while. And you know what that did? Because they were struggling with recruitment. Because we had all of these garbage videos where there were these lesbians talking about how strong they were, and China is laughing at us. We got but like I saw this one disgusting video where you have the serviceman, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be all right. And then he does this little head shake thing, and he's got lipstick and a dress on, and I'm like, oh my friggin' God. Are you kidding me right now? The world must think we are insane, and now we have standards, and now all of those cornbread-fed country boys are signing back up again, and I'm happy to see. Like, they've already met their recruitment numbers for this year, and we're only in January. So I think that is awesome. Another thing on the whole Venezuelan thing, and I'm getting feedback badly. But another thing on the Venezuelan front is when you talk about the Monroe Doctrine, and that's what Trump has been talking about pretty much all week, is the Monroe Doctrine. What we're doing there is we're making sure that this hemisphere, our sandbox, is safe from adversaries. Our adversaries would be like a Russia or a China or all those guys. And what those guys were doing is they were setting up bases right there in Venezuela, right there in South America. And, for the longest time, we had a president that was, for lack of a better term, nutted. Like, he had no balls, and he also had no brains. So they're just building up and building up and building out. And in one fell swoop, Trump went in there, showed them that what American might looks like. Like, he went into this just a little bit. He went in there and he turned like all of the electricity off remotely. And then he circumvented Chinese technology and Russian technology. We went in there, and while Chinese diplomats were yet on the ground, went in there and snatched this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm just
absolutely.
I'm like, this is a beautiful thing. I'm going to get to some of these comments. Holy crap, they're stacking up there. I didn't hear. I'm going to show them on the stream.
Is our feedback getting any better, first, Leon?
I'm still getting some, and maybe when we hit the first commercial, we can work on that. I'm noticing, and guys, I'm sorry, I've been on the road all day, so I haven't had time to get in here and tinker with this. I'm gonna try to fix those camera angles. Bob needs a headset. You do, dude. You do. You need to install that mic, but we'll talk about that later. Jason Ness. I don't know who that is. Rick. Brian, good evening. Dan, what up, guys? What up, Dan?
Dan's one of my brothers.
Yeah, good guy, that Dan. Yeah. Good evening, Bob and Leon from Justin. Left wing media and left wing politicians are fueling the fires of outrage, 100% seditious work. I heard Tim Walsh say something that made me do a double take, dude. He said that he has been instructing that camera angle is horrible now. He said that he was instructing his National Guard, instructing them to basically fight ICE agents.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, that's what the South did. You know, how did that work out for everybody? That's not a thing that should happen. That is the definition of seditious or sedition is right there.
He and his attorney general received info today that they are under investigation.
Good.
Now it wasn't as of today. Last I saw, it wasn't for that seditious comment, that traitorous effort to, and we said we're at war with the federal government. I watched him say we are at war with the federal government.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, right there, you're screwed, Timmy. Right? I mean, you should be. If we take action on that, he's done. But the balls it takes, the stupidity it takes to say some of these things, man.
They have been coddled for 4 years. So they believe the garbage that they're thinking that they've been saying for 4 years. They believe that crap. They believe that nothing's going to happen to them. And we're going to get into it. But like these protesters, that FAFO, they believe that if they do these actions, nothing is going to happen because we watch as Minnesota allowed Minneapolis to burn. And it was mostly peaceful. You remember that? Fire behind the guy. And he's like, yeah, mostly peaceful, but things are blowing up behind him. You know,
Target goes up in smoke.
It's insane. All right, looking at not sure if you're looking at the comments right now, but I'm pretty sure he would vouch for him. I don't know what that's. Oh, first time here. Wheeler can vouch for this Southern man. Love you, brother. Van Drawdy. Is that? I think that's how you say that.
Yep. Good friend of mine from actually the communist side of the country. He's over in Minnesota.
Good gravy. Rick Becker Rick Becker championed against civil asset forfeiture and tried to get it repealed here in North Dakota. I don't understand how that's still a thing. I've heard horror stories. Not so much in North Dakota, and maybe I should research it, but I know in the great state of Texas, this happens. An old guy was going to go buy a truck or something, and he had like 60,000, 80,000. I don't know. He was going to pay cash for it, and they just took it. And he's been fighting. This has been like 10 years ago, and he's been fighting ever since. And they're just basically saying no. He's not charged with a crime. He's not involved in drugs or any illicit activities. Just the fact that he had the cash. And you would think in America that wouldn't be a thing, but apparently it is.
I believe that's a Reagan era drug law that they put in the war against drugs, and that went in there then, meaning that if you had cash like that, you had to be a drug dealer. If I go to the bank to pull out $10,000, they fill out a report on me. So pull out 9,000 every time. Don't pull out 10,000 ever. Yeah. That type of stuff.
That's insane.
we have so many things to do to get back to the rule of law by the Constitution. And so this takes us up, doing the other thing tonight. But that is one of those issues. The constitutionality of that, it should have been thrown out years, decades ago.
And something I've noticed, especially under the last administration, some under Bush also, but definitely under Obama, and the onus or the overarching supremacy of the of our U.S. Constitution is not adhered to. It's an afterthought at best, and a lot of people go with this new mindset of precedent. Well, we've had bad precedent before, you know. What Brown versus Ferguson, and like separate but equal, and all of that stuff was precedent. And sometimes you got to change precedent or go back to the founding. And if our Constitution is supposed to be the supreme law of the land, then phrases like "shall not be infringed" should mean something, or private property rights should mean something. I don't understand how property taxes are even legal, but on a country that was founded on private property rights. It blows my mind. And so when I think about things like civil asset forfeiture, I'm like, how in this country can this be a thing? Again,
we've allowed all this stuff to go on, and that's my hope. Like I as much as I'm a constitutional conservative and I don't like making exceptions, but I keep thinking in my gut that the next 6 and 7 years is putting us back on track. And I hate the fact that we may be ignoring some things here, and I don't want to support that. But if I've got to go through some BS that takes us to get back on track, I've made that a line that I'm willing to cross. If because we're not doing any worse with the Constitution right now than what's done in the last 50 years. Okay, so if there is some things that aren't constitutional, we'll get them figured out, straighten them out, and make it so that we're sticking to the Constitution again, and we don't allow this crap to happen again.
Yep.
And I have such mixed emotions on that, and I have the arguments and the fights with friends that are more constitutional than I am in their mind. I just have my beliefs right now that we're going to get back to that, but you can't get everything undone in 4 years that was done to this country in 250.
Yeah. And I have those same discussions, like folks that I consider to be libertarians, and they're like, all of a sudden you guys are for federal agents rounding people up. Well, we wouldn't have to do that. Well, one, that's the federal government's purview. They're supposed to be immigration enforcement. Two, it is not those guys' fault that we had 4 years of this idiot letting any and everybody into this country. So if a illegal act had not occurred, we would not have to do this. And not to mention, these people are not American citizens, so that's not a problem. I don't understand. And a lot of folks that would consider themselves libertarian, strictly constitutionalists, isolationists, those type of folks, friends of mine, for some reason they missed that point.
They're going with the lib side of libertarian.
Yeah.
The LIB is in there for a reason sometimes. I mean, it makes 0 sense to fight this stuff the way they're fighting it right now.
Yeah.
0.
They're trying to fight it with white gloves, and you can't. That's why we need people like Trump. You need somebody now because the situation is so dire. You need somebody in there that's going to bust heads and settle up later. And I'm okay with that.
Were these issues, these topics, these things they're fighting about now? Why weren't they screaming about them back in the last? Okay, why weren't you still screaming Constitution for the last 15, 20 years? Where the hell were you then? Yeah, we were talking about things like that, but you weren't screaming, "Oh God, that's not constitutional." No shit, it wasn't constitutional. We were doing our best to go around it and fix it. But now you're worried about the Constitution? Give me a break.
Yeah.
Stick to it or don't.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go.
The problem.
Better tell your better half you can get the buzzer.
The problem is our opposition does not play by the rules in our society, and we do 100%. The only way to counter this legally is the Insurrection Act or martial law. Let's talk about this. Military tribunal. Do we want to get into that? Because
No.
I've been saying for quite some time, tall trees, short ropes, fair trial, of course. But ideology is good to work towards, but we also have to live in reality. I agree with that.
If you want to fix this country 100%, you better make sure you've got about 500 really, really good generals that you can trust, that 100% know the Constitution, top to bottom, inside out, right? And then you let the government or the military take over, okay? And they clean house in Washington, D.C. They do, when the states have to do the same damn thing, and you start over. It's the only way. Then each individual that gets elected gets vetted at like 4 or 5 different levels. They swear that oath, and we have repercussions for not following the Constitution. It's the only way it'll ever happen, and it never will.
And I would encourage, like, if someone is asking for your vote, get them the book on intercession. And I have it upstairs. I'm blanking on the name, but it's about the way our country was set up. We have levels of safeguards, and these people intercede on our behalf against a tyrannical government. So if the federal government is doing something tyrannical, you have all these layers before it gets to you. And maybe on when I take my break, I'll run upstairs and grab it. I don't believe that a lot of our elected officials understand their proper role, including the sheriff. I had this when I was on with Sheriff Yonner, I don't know, years ago. I asked him this, and we had a very long discussion about what the proper role of a sheriff was. And I was pleased because he was a lot more knowledgeable about it than a lot of folks are. He wasn't like 100% locked in, but he was a lot more knowledgeable than a lot of folks are. And when we look for an elected official and they're saying things like, I don't know, like Josh was saying, we need money for like the homeless, so blah, blah, blah. What he's saying to you is your property doesn't belong to you. It's a community property. Mm-hmm. So if we need money for X, Y, and Z, we're just going to take it from you. That's what he's saying. So that should be a hard no. Absolutely not. Van says for the most part, yes, except I think Biden set a rule for 600. Yeah, you're right. I remember this. It went from 10,000 to 1,000 to 600 to be reported. Yeah.
Right.
Again, so when I hear something like that and I see that $700 million flew out of airport in suitcases, I got some questions, dude. There's a couple of questions that come to mind. I'm a United States citizen, and I have no doubt that if I get pulled over anywhere in the continental United States, and I don't know, I pulled out, $1,500, $2,000, something like that, and I got pulled over and searched for some reason, they would be asking me about that money. And I would, being honorary, that salty as I am, I'd be like, it's none of your damn business where this money comes. It's mine, it's my property. But
they're going to have a huge, whatever. Try to, good Lord, where do you want this show to go tonight? Because we're going here.
Okay. What we're going to do.
Because I can, right? Gladly. I want to say one thing about the sheriff thing real quick, because I did get contacted recently through a friend. They put me onto this sheriff's page, guy running for sheriff somewhere out west. And the guy, he sent me a message asking for his support. I'm like, well, first of all, I appreciate you, but I'm not anywhere near your county. I can't vote for you. But I says, honestly, how about this? Let me ask you this. Before I'm going to press on your side to my friends and family over there, I said, let me ask you a question. And I asked him where he stood on the Constitution. And the first answer he gave, well, that's a difficult question. And I'm like, all right, here we go. All right. But he says it depends on the people. And I'm like, dude, no, it's not a difficult question. The Constitution comes first. The Bill of Rights comes first. People are farther down the line. Okay. They have to be. We have to be further down the line than that, because if you follow the Constitution, the people will end up first. But if you hesitate on that question, I'm done with you.
And I agree. I think far too many politicians get into politics to enrich themselves. They're not statesmen. And I think we talked about this on a past show. Back in the day, folks were a lot closer to their constituents, and they had the mindset of being a statesman. So the laws that they would levy would be less onerous because they'd have to go back and live under those laws. What we have right now, the folks in power have no intention of living under the same laws that they levy on us. They have no intention.
We gotta quit electing our friends, or Miss Susie down the road's got a cousin and he's running for office. Let's vote for him. We got to quit that stuff.
We need to vet them. That's the problem.
I like what Michael Coachman and a group of individuals he's with are doing. They're trying to get some footage on making these individuals stand by the platform, but they're not. I don't think there's anything that we can hold them to yet, right? It's a great idea. We need them to say their oaths and have a way to hold them to it, and then the repercussions have to be swift and harsh if you don't.
I agree. And what a lot of folks would say is they won't even go to the impeachment route. They'll say, well, that process it gets shaken out during the election process. And I'm like, no, you have no idea how many stupid people there are. I mean, we have Democrats in the Tim Walsh was damn near vice president.
Oh, so don't say that ever again.
We cannot rely on that mindset, because if we do, we're screwed. Again, $9 billion was fleeced from that state. $9 billion. 700 million flew out of Minneapolis airport. So no.
We'd already be speaking Chinese, brother.
Yeah. And we're going to get into this later, but when you start picking apart our founding principles and our founding document, you get this incremental creeping tyranny. And when you think about the folks in Iran who have absolutely no choice in the matter, they can't fight back. They are an unarmed population unless they come over here. But that's what you get. You get China. You get Russia. You get the UK, where if you send your daughter to school, she might not come home. And then if you complain about it, you will go to jail for being Islamophobic. I mean, this is what we're talking about. And folks might think that we're being hyperbolic, but we're not, because you can see the progression. You can see that they let in 20 million people who are not America First people. You can see that. You can see one of the things that concerned me about this whole Iran thing is how many of those refugees are we going to take in? Because the problem with that I see is Ilhan Omar. Think about what we did over there. Our CIA, what we did over there. Her family was the tyrannical family. They ran them out because they were a brutal dictatorship. And then she ends up a refugee over here, and now she's been really quiet here lately. I wonder why. We get these people to come over here, and now we got little Somalia all over the place. They're fleecing money. They're taking over neighborhoods. Places in like Dearborn, Michigan. 4 times a day you hear some stupid chime or whatever. Yeah. So when I say we need to hold fast, it might seem like, oh, that's a small issue. It's not. It's a creeping thing that we all need to be concerned about, because when we're not, we're going to look back and be like, oh, when did that happen? Oh, I can't have a binary trigger. Why? I can't have a silencer. Why? I can only have 2 firearms and they must be, bolt action. Where'd that come from? Well, it came from apathy. It came from us sitting on our hands and not being pissed off. And with that, I think I'm going to go to commercial. And so me and Bob, we're going to be right back right after this message. And we're going to talk about where you want to go. Where do you want the conversation to go, Bob?
Dude, we got to go back to Minneapolis.
All right, let's do it. We'll be back in Minneapolis right after this break.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon. Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
This is Leon Francis on Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed. I hope that camera angle is a little better. I tried to putz with it a little bit.
You're pretty square now. You're out in the middle.
All right. So, just wanted to show you guys this. If you could see that. The doctrine of the lesser magistrates. This is a phenomenal book. This book, and as you can see, a proper resistance to tyranny and a repudiation of unlimited obedience to civil government. This is a good book. This tells you the power that a sheriff has, tells you the power that your mayor has, your governor has, that sort of thing, and how these people are put in power to intercede on your behalf, not to do all the flowery. Yeah, your mic is the feedback is here. Give me 1 second. I will do this. Test. Okay. Yeah. So what that book explains, it lays out what the proper role of government is and the proper role of those officials are. So, and what I plan on doing is I plan on getting a case of these books. I have a pretty good connection to these folks. I think I want to get a case of those books, and every elected official, the official that comes up to me and wants to shake my hand and ask me for my support, I'm going to hand them this book, one of my little pocket constitutions, and then we're going to have a conversation. And I think we need a little bit more of that and less than the other. So for the folks that are just joining us, I'm Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic. This is the Guns and the 701. I'm here every Friday. I try to be here at 6 o'clock, but sometimes things happen, And this is my good buddy, Big Boss Bob Wheeler. And Bob, so we were talking about Minneapolis, and there's just so much going on there right now. And so I guess I'll give you the floor for a second, and then I want to talk about these protests and what's going on there, the federal buildings that are being attacked and all of that stuff. So I'm going to give you the floor for that.
Well, we can cover all of Minneapolis in just a short little bit. It's FAFO, right? And that's what they're witnessing right now, or we're witnessing right now. The incident that happened could have been avoided, should have been avoided, should never have even come close to happening. Okay. This was a couple of women who were actively involved in an anti-ICE organization, following around, trying to harass them, doing these things. They had escaped to Canada when Donald Trump got elected. They recently came back to the United States. So as far as I'm concerned, looking at all of the camera angles that have been out there, this individual was 100% justified, and a hell of a shot, mind you.
100%
justified in that shooting. His training did him well. It saved his life, and he is 100% needs to be cleared of any wrongdoing in this situation. That woman tried to drive it away with a law enforcement agent in front of her. Legally, in Minnesota, a law signed by Tim Walz makes it legal. Also, you follow federal that makes it legal. And this woman's, okay, gosh, I hate this. This woman's wife has now said she feels guilty. She feels that it's her fault because she is on video saying, "Drive away, sweetie, drive away," something like that. Okay, FAFO, that's exactly what happened here. Now, the repercussions from that, I mean, are we going to have the summer of love again? Just call it the winter, spring of love with, buildings burning, this, that, and the other. Just the little bit of trolling I've done on Facebook, people out there are absolutely crazy saying that these girls should have been left alone. Let them do what they're going to do. They weren't going to hurt you. She wasn't going to hit anybody. Just they don't even look at the facts. Now, if the video had come out and that guy absolutely did something wrong, I'd be the first one here. Get a rope. Hang that bad cop. We don't want the bad guys getting away with shit. Okay, whether you're supposed to be a good guy or not, we don't want you to get by with it. That is one of the biggest differences between you and I and the left, is we want everybody playing by the rules.
Yeah.
They just don't want any rules on them, and we got to follow whatever rules they make up whenever they make them up.
Those anarchists don't want any rules. I'm not that guy. I want rules. I want law enforcement in their proper roles. And I'll be the first one that calls out law enforcement that is acting outside of color of authority. I will be the absolute first one to do that because I am a small government guy. And but
not the blue.
Back the badge, not the blue. And again, when we're looking at that, and other video has come out, you go to my Facebook page. I posted it already. Like this morning sometime, you can clearly see the interaction. Clearly, you can clearly see that she hit him. Like he was trying to move out of the way, and you can see the entire interaction from a first person point of view because he has the cell phone. He was taking a video of the license plate of her, of that thing that she married, I guess, and yeah, and when you could see when the officer on the other side of the car says, "Get out," and I want to talk about that too. He said, "Get the F out," and people were giving me guff. Are you okay with him using that language? Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those situations. You got to use it. Shock and awe, if you need to call it that.
100%.
Doesn't hurt anybody.
And to see that chick bucking up to him, oh, I'm a blah blah blah, this and that. But the fact of the matter is, you can clearly see that she hit him with the car. She hit him with the car before he fired a shot, and his first shot, that shot placement was spot on, right through the lower right of the windshield, and boom, that it was done. Now, people on the left, the media were claiming that she was this loving mother and blah blah blah. She was not. She lost custody of her two kids, and if you know a divorced dad, or you know how difficult it is just to get shared custody.
Wow.
So you have to be a pretty bad person for a judge to take your child from you, and you're the mom. Yeah. That is almost unheard of.
Almost impossible.
And not only that, her significant other, we're just going to call it that, she lost custody of one of her kids because she was investigated for putting cigarettes out on the kids and abusing the kids. These are not good people. It's what I'm trying to say to you.
The mental illness issue in this country is coming back up just by seeing this. The mental illness behind Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis.
Oh my God!
Telling the federal government, telling ICE to get the F out.
Yeah.
And then you back it up with a governor. The mental illness. You and I would be hung up already if we were doing these things.
Yeah.
As a conservative. If we did what we probably know to be true and needs to be done, like you say, almost an anarchy thing, we'd be done. You want to hear
my thoughts on January 6th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I would rather have the ICE agents fully loaded with pepper spray. I'd rather see the water cannons out there right now, and I would like them to be able to treat every single incident as a riot and peacefully end that crap with the fire trucks and get it over with. Get it over with now.
These people are emboldened.
Then they won't have to die. They might get damn cold.
Yep.
They don't have to have a bullet in the head.
But these people are emboldened. Like all the riots that we saw, even the ones now, and admittedly now they're a lot more aggressive. But even in my humble opinion, when you are blocking in ICE vehicles, to me, those ICE agents, those officers should legally be able to forcibly remove you, because now if you barricade them in, you're basically blocking them in. They're in an ambush situation now.
You're obstructing justice. You're in an ambush situation.
Yeah. Yeah. and again, had this type of crackdown would not be needed had anyone in the federal government said, whoa. And again, I'm a Republican. I am a conservative. But I did not see the level of angst when Biden was letting these people in. I saw it on the civilian side. I didn't see Kevin Kramer or well, maybe I shouldn't. But I did not see my elected officials like we're letting 20 million people in here, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Your new governor, your old governor, Hoeven, Kramer. Now you can talk about Julie Fedoracek.
Yep.
Okay, he got lucky and got in with Trump, right? Nobody was crying, whining, gnashing their teeth when this was going on.
Yep.
And I'm going to interrupt just a second. I think you're headed there. We need to find the root of these protesters and find out who's paying them, who's antagonizing them, who's making this stuff happen. Because I know there's going to be some protesters, right? But these ladies weren't from Minneapolis.
Nope.
Okay. And that is actually the big, and whether the federal government we can go back to the pipeline and shut that thing down on Corps of Engineers land, or handled the I can't breathe, dude. Okay. I mean, any of these riots, Leon, or whatever his name is, I can't breathe.
George Bochee.
But if they'd have done that right, maybe the people paying them would have said, this is futile. We're not going to be able to beat this if it had been handled correctly.
No. I think that they successfully, like from the George Floyd thing and the BLM thing, all of that money, like, again, if we dig down into it, you have that chick, that domestic terrorist that Clinton pardoned. She was a Jewish chick, a lesbian. The two females that were under her were lesbian. They grifted what, $7 billion through BLM, and funded all of that stuff. And then you had the entirety of the Democrat establishment backing them. So these people felt completely you had police stations stand down. You had the police station in Minneapolis. They abandoned that thing. And those officers were pissed off. They were pissed off because that is their, they basically felt like they had to retreat because this rabble, this garbage, these anarchists were being allowed to do what they were doing. So they were allowed to do that, and then they got away with it for so long, and now they have all this dark money. All this dark money that there's a whole industry that has popped up, and it should be fairly easy to trace. And I'm waiting on the Republicans to trace that money. And those people, you're talking about sedition. Those people should be brought up on charges.
How are we going to trace it when we just let billions damn near go to Somalia? I'm not even sure how we can trace it, Leon. You know what I mean?
I do.
I know who's behind this in my gut. I believe you can find Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, the Bush family. You can take all of the regular candidates for stuff like this.
Yeah.
Okay. The usual suspects, I guess, is what I'm looking for. And they're involved in this. They're behind this.
Yeah.
It's the cabal. And it is a real deal. There's a cabal out there. And maybe it goes back to the Rockefellers. I don't know.
We're going there.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if we can go back that far with these things, but there is a group of individuals out there that are 100% against a safe, peaceful United States of America.
100%.
Thus ends the story.
If we are divided, we are less likely to notice all the money that they're fleecing from us and sending overseas. I mean, why do you think there was such a big backlash against Elon Musk and Doge?
What was a lot of distractions that we were distracted by while that money was going? And like you said,
even right now with Tim Walz, like we got this whole manufacturer that chick clearly aimed that car at that cop. But what are we talking about now? We're not talking about the $700 million in duffel bags. We're not talking about the $9 billion that was fleeced. We're not talking about the Leering Center that was closed down just a week ago because it was BS. We're not talking about any of that. We're not talking about Keith Ellison on tape accepting bribes from these Somalian people. We're not talking about that. You haven't heard anything about any of that. All we're talking about is this mother of three who was shot by this horrible, horrible ICE agent. That's what we're talking about now. It's crazy.
Luckily, guys like you and I, we are not alone. That's why you've got guns in the 701 and the guys that, they're developing that and doing the things that you guys are doing. I keep track of as much as I can.
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to keep doing is, I can't get distracted by just one story. We're watching Iran. We're watching Venezuela. I'm paying attention to Greenland right now. I'm paying attention to Minneapolis because it's close to home. But as far as getting distracted, you got to be really, really careful not to just jump down one rabbit hole and stay with it.
Yeah.
Because there's other nefarious activities happening right now.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about Greenland. So, again, you got a lot of folks that, a lot of libertarians, these isolationists, and God love them, and I agree with 80%, maybe. I am at heart a conservative libertarian, but I understand the strategy behind holding a country like Greenland close to vest. I understand it because with the minerals there, with the proximity to Russia, the strategic, when you're talking about homeland security, the strategic positioning of a country like Greenland, I understand all that. And I said today, like with I think it's Alaska. We pay those guys a stipend, just for being an Alaskan. That we could do that, and it'd be less money than these friggin' Somalians are stealing from us. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the fact of the matter is, I think that's a good thing. And then you have Republicans and libertarians going, "Oh my God, no, that's nation building." I'm like, dude, I can't do this. And in Venezuela, they're like, "Oh, nation building." Shut up. Shut up.
If this was 1776, I would be an isolationist still. Okay, because that's the way it should have started out and stayed for quite a while. When the war started happening that started to affect us, when those things worldwide started to really become an issue for us, is when things had to start changing.
That's where we got the Monroe Doctrine.
We had to get involved.
Yep.
Right? But the world we live in now, I'll go back to this. The biggest mistake we did after winning World War II is not just scorched earth policy.
Yep.
Okay. Scorched earth, go in and clean out the rabble and everything that we'd taken. Okay. Japan included. We should, as much as Japan is definitely our ally, right? Yep. And we built them back up. That was not our responsibility. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I still think we should have stuck with scorched earth, but then we got into this nation building. We got to repair and replace what we took from them by winning a war. No. And now you look at the strategic situation. Well, I guess maybe, does it start with a Cold War? Did it start with a nuclear threat that we really needed to start spreading out? Greenland is key. Alaska is key. Let's just take Canada and Mexico and say, guys, let her rip. Yeah. We have to be other places.
And you think about like countries in the EU, and you think about NATO and all those places that are giving Trump a bunch of guff right now. Those folks can't defend themselves. If Russia decided to take those countries, they would basically be eating sauerkraut if Donald Trump didn't send troops over. I mean, they cannot, because of their socialist policies and because of their huge social welfare garbage that they have going on, and because they took in so much of the third world and all of those people, all of them, I think 80% of them are on welfare. Social, so they don't have the money to stick into their military like we do. And I'm not one of those guys that say we need a small. No, I want our military to be the most badass thing on the planet. I want people to shake in their boots at the thought of pissing off Uncle Sam. That's what I want. I want that whole peace through strength augmented and on steroids. That's what I want. So I am fine with making sure our military has the best tech, the best weaponry, the best training, all of that. These countries don't think like that. Yet, they're over there hemming and hawing about what Trump did in Venezuela. If I were Trump, I'd just be like, who asked you? Like, what are you going to do? Like, there's
I understand the concern. I don't want Donald Trump turning into a dictator. I understand the concern. He has not shown me one iota that he's going to turn into a dictator. Nope. Not one.
No, even the folks that are like, "Oh, it's for oil and blah, blah," that's our infrastructure over there. They stole that from us.
Like Trump said.
And Trump is the only president that said, "You know what? That's ours. We're taking it back."
Somebody asked him, "What are you going to do with that oil?" He said, "I don't know. We don't need it. We'll sell it."
Yeah.
We don't. We got our own. We're doing great.
And not to mention, Trump is a business guy. He knows that if we grab that Venezuelan oil, we would, flood our own market, and it would bring the value of our oil down, the value of our dollar down. We don't want China to get it. What they were doing over there is, against an embargo, they were selling this oil on the cheap. So China could fund its infrastructure build out, its military build out, its empire building on the cheap, because they were getting it from Venezuela. Like, I don't, and I'm sorry, I'm going to piss a couple people off, but it's what I do. I don't believe that the boats that Trump were seizing, he seized them because, cocaine. I believe it was oil tankers that they were illegally trying to get to China, and Russia was also exporting that crude oil on the cheap against the embargo. So I agree with Trump. I believe that Trump should just stand up and say, yeah, they were doing this, so I did that because this is what we said. This guy, according to Biden, was not the proper, which is odd because Biden stole the election too. But I would say we had a warrant on this guy. We went out and we grabbed him. They had our infrastructure, and he basically said this. They had our infrastructure that they stole from us. We took it back. They were selling this oil illegally on the world market cheaply, so we took that back, and we're going to work with them until they get their infrastructure back in place, able to sell this stuff, and then we're going to get paid for that, for freeing that country. And thank you for your attention to this matter. That's what I want to hear, I'm done. I'm like, let's do this thing, It's the liberal press from the beginning that gaslight the people to believe Trump is bad. They continually bombard the public with that narrative they want to push. They must be held accountable. And I agree. Like, I see in Chicago and Washington, all these black faces that thank Trump for making those places livable, habitable, so their kids can go out and play. But you never see them in the mainstream media. You'll never see that. The fact that they were like, like Pritzker was like, you're not invading our communities, and this idiot Tim Walsh in Minnesota, I'm not going to allow you to come in here and make war with Minnesotans. No, that's not what's going on, one. And two, nobody would believe that except for that chick, with the nose ring. Nobody's going to believe that. And if you ask the folks on the ground, the folks that haven't had a decent night's sleep because Tren de la Agua and these gang members were, flooding the streets with violence, if you ask the people that live there, that had their communities, like Washington apparently is unbelievable now. It's so safe. And why shouldn't it be? But you'll never hear that from the mainstream media. So you're right, Dan. You're right. The Venezuela incident was about China's influence in South America. Yeah, that's what it was. Basically, that's what it was about, to show them, hey, if you are going to challenge us, there's nothing you can do. This is our hemisphere. You stay in your lane. We'll stay in ours. I don't believe that Trump is nation building at all. I believe that he is showing the world we are the dominant superpower, and we will not be trifled with anymore. All the money that we were sending overseas, all the accords that we were involved with, and all of that flowery liberal bullshit, we're done with that. And I'm sorry I said that. Sometimes my mouth gets away with it.
You're the only one you got to worry about your wife.
What do you mean the only person? I got to sleep up there, man.
You could sleep on the couch one night. It's all right.
Yeah.
The language is necessary. It gets the point across every once in a while. I'm allowed to slip more often because I don't have to deal with it. But you're good. You're on time. What? Why is everybody that's against us, at least our beliefs, so ready to give up this nation? Is this that 70s hippie, 60s hippie thing of looking for, what's that word we're looking for, utopia?
Yep.
Is that what they think is going to happen by shutting us conservatives down and putting this country on the right track? Is that what they truly think is going to happen? If so, hey, you can keep thinking that if you want, but it's never going to happen. There's no such thing as world peace. It is never going to happen until the good Lord decides he's done with this experiment, right? Well, there's never going to be such thing as world peace. All right. So quit worrying about it. If I wanted to go back to the end of World War II, when that general said, or admiral said, you can't attack the United States because there'd be a weapon behind every blade of grass. Okay. And going back to some of the stuff we talked about earlier before the break, the difference in this nation and other nations is still our Second Amendment. Okay. The reason they haven't come in full force, all right, is our Second Amendment. The fact that we are still holding on to our guns and our Bibles, like Hillary said, all right, that's why we still have this nation.
And we still have the rural communities. I think that when we talk about this whole equation of tyranny versus liberty, hang on a sec. I'm getting that feedback, so I'm going to do that. So when we're talking about this whole equation between liberty and tyranny, one of the things that are often left out of the equation is the rural community. The reason they want these urban centers is they want to be able to control that population, and they can effectively. But when you get out into the sticks, like this family right up the street from us, and when I say up the street, it's a gravel road. The family right up the street from us, they must have, I don't know, 8, 9 ARs in there. All their kids know how to shoot. It's going to be much, much harder to go from farmstead to farmstead and conquer. And that's what it's all about. I want, and for folks that look at me and Bob and think that we want, to control it, I don't want to control anything. I want absolute individual. I'm an individual rights guy. That's who I am. I want.
That's all I want. Leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Ted Kaczynski and put out a manifesto and go, do that. But I want you to leave me alone. Yeah. I have rights. I want you to quit treading on them, quit infringing on them. I want to be left alone. I don't want to pay taxes anymore because I've seen the waste of dollars that this country's gone through, right? Which we all knew it was happening, but the Doge and this other stuff is putting a face to it. There's no reason that we're paying taxes anymore. Let Donald Trump do his thing, do this oil embargo, do all this other stuff, and guess what? We won't have to pay him if he can get things done through Congress. There's no reason that we pay anything more than like a 10% sales tax, however you want to call it, tariff, when we go shopping, and never have another tax on anything, including vehicles, property, anything. That's all we should ever have to pay. And I don't mind paying my fair share, but I'm not going to see millions and millions of my dollars, our dollars, going over to Mogadishu to teach Somali children how to play with condoms or some damn thing. All right. I'm done.
After this stream, Bob, me and you're going to talk. Like I'm 100% with you. If you talk to my wife, one of the things that would get a vein popping on my forehead is when I look at how much I have to pay in taxes each quarter. Like, I don't do it. I let her take all of it. Like, she gets the mail way before I get to it. She pulls out the envelope with the tax commissioner crap on it. She pulls it. I never even see it. She handles it all. But I've discovered another way. And I'll tell you. I'm not gonna say it on. I'm not gonna say it on here, but I found a way, dude. And Dan has made a very good point here. If you like this live stream, please go to YouTube, hit the like, smash that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. It is the Guns and the 701. And then go over to Blackbeard Logic. For the longest time, they weren't letting me stream over there. I think I've been on there long enough now that I can. So go over to Blackbeard Logic, Guns and the 701, obviously, because those are the folks that are hosting us. Thank you, Clay. And go over to all of my social media and just give us a like, give us a thumbs up, that sort of thing. If you go to Spotify, and Spotify is probably, boss, you're gone. Spotify is probably the biggest platform. I was actually in a store a couple of weeks ago. There you are. I was in the store a couple of weeks ago, and a guy recognized me. He was an old friend, but and he showed me his Spotify playlist, and in there he has a Freedom playlist, and there's Guns in the 701, and there was my episode right there, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And so, you do things like that. Go to Spotify, look for Guns in the 701, look for Blackbeard Logic, just type that in there. It'll pop up. Put us in your rotation, and you're good to go. Anytime you want to hear the sexy, sultry voice of Bob Wheeler. You thought I was going to say me, right? No, Bob Wheeler. You can do that. And then go and patronize our sponsors, especially Laura Auto out there in Bismarck with Big Boss Doug out there. Go look those guys up. They do great work. I tell this story, so forgive me if you heard this one. But I was headed out right past Little Yellowstone, headed to Bismarck, hit a deer in a little CRV. And I sputtered that thing all the way to Bismarck. And took it to Doug's spot. I got a ream of deer sausage out of that. So, I'm not saying Doug is going to be handing out deer sausage to everybody, but I'm just saying Doug is good people's man. And he actually came out here, like when we had that big tornado, that dude pulled his fifth wheel out here, cranked up the chainsaw, and just helped me clear wood. Like, you don't get good people like that. So when you see that Laura Auto and you see Doug hitting that pose with the binoculars and all of that stuff, that's a good dude. Take your car there, dude. Anyway, only on Deer Strikes, Doug says, right? 100%. So I'm going to hit another commercial, and we'll be right back. This is Blackbeard Logic on the Guns in the 701 network with my buddy Bob Wheeler and Leon Francis. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hey, it's Leon Francis from Blackbeard Logic on the Guns in the 701 network. I'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
When you want it done right,
go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon. Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Come on, no.
Welcome back. It's Leon Francis with Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Let's get it indeed, Leon Francis. This is the Guns and the 701 Network, and we're talking with my good buddy, Bob Big Dog Wheeler. And got a ton of, I'm not going to be able to get through all of these messages.
Before you jump onto them, Leon,
Sure.
which one of the Guns in 701 is hanging out on Fox Lake ice fishing tonight? And which Fox Lake is that? Is that the one between Jamestown and Valley City?
I think that, wait a minute. If that's Clay, wow, he's close, man. We might have to hook up.
Well, if that's the Fox Lake, boy, he ought to be slapped for not inviting us.
Yeah, I'm a little pissed. I'm a little PO'd, dude, now that I'm thinking about it. Democrats are trying to expose this nation on every level. One of the things, and Jay and I talked about this for just a little bit today, but one of the things that just gets my goose, man, just cheeses my grits, is this whole marriage between like the Islamo-fascists and the Democrats in this country. Like these progressives just, they don't understand. The reason Europe is the way it is because liberals with bleeding hearts thought it was a good idea to import just tons of these people whose cultures are incompatible with theirs. And then you start seeing like the mayor of London was, you know, a jihadi, and the mayor of Paris was a jihadi, and all of this and that. And now we're seeing it over here in America. Like there was this big thing in Texas where they were building mosque everywhere before some good conservative person, you know, with a cell phone started filming it. And then we didn't hear any more about it. And then even in New York City, where they had Mandami right now, after 9/11, there were people, there were Islamo-fascists in New York that were trying to erect a mosque on ground zero or near ground zero. Think about that. And then these people, what they do is they partner. They're not going to vote for conservatives. I mean, that's out of the question. But they will vote for dumbass liberals because they know that they can manipulate those guys. They can cause chaos in the streets. They can do exactly what they're doing right now. They can have queers for Palestine, and they don't see a problem. they can. You can see these people out there with the Palestinian neck scarf on, and they're out there protesting, and they have pink hair, and they have an Adam's apple and boobs, and you're just like, I'm sorry, Bob.
A million screaming sperm, and theirs was the quickest. Figure that. We need our warning signs taken off of everything, because that used to keep the dumb from living long enough to breed.
It makes me rethink my stance on the abortion issue. But only briefly. And the fact of the matter is, they reproduce a lot quicker than we do. Like the first name this year out of Fargo was like Omar. It was a Muslim name in Fargo, North Dakota. Think about that. I'm a black dude, and I'm pissed off. What the hell is wrong with you guys?
I don't understand where a group of individuals that we know quite well is more concerned with Israel right now than Muslim. There's no competition there. Only if I say this, who's trying to actively hurt us right now?
Yeah.
Physically doing it, it's the Muslims. It's not the Israelis. Now, if there's something rabbit hole, you know, whatever tinfoil hat stuff going on back there, conspiracy theorists with the Israelis, fine and dandy. I'm going to have to fight the enemy right now in front of me, and let's hope somebody's walking her backside so that the 5-pointed star doesn't doesn't come in where the 8-point star got us already, right? But the Muslims are the ones who are openly saying, we will kill you if you don't go to Sharia law. We are taking over America. It is our country now. We are keeping it. You have nothing to say. You can't do anything to stop us. I guarantee you we will stop you if you ever try to do something stupid enough. Okay?
What do you say to the people
you should be talking to your politicians about is the Muslim invasion?
What do you say to the people that say, and I know my thoughts on this, but the people that say all religions are welcome here, even the Republicans that say that, like that, I remember there was a big to do because they were doing in the North Dakota legislature, they were like rotating different imams and pastors and all of this to do the invocation. I remember thinking, how my thoughts on this is when our founders set this thing up, it was a Christian nation. And I say, and I've gotten pushback on this, I say Judeo-Christian, but hear me out, because I believe in both parts of the Bible. I believe in the Old Testament. As a matter of fact, I'm a lot of Old Testament, buddy. A lot of Old Testament. And the New Testament. And the Old Testament is Jewish. So that's the Judeo. And then Matthew starts the Christ. Christian, Judeo. So that's where I'm coming from on that. I'm not, it's just that basic right there. So a country founded on Judeo-Christian principles and values, started by Quakers, actually. And one of the biggest, as a matter of fact, one of the things that was the biggest threat back then when Jefferson and all those guys were settling this country was the Muslims, the Ottoman dudes that were pirating the seas. And they were definitely afraid of that. And they faced that down, dealt with it. And then here, 250 years later, we were like, hey, all religions are the same. And I'm like, no.
The Marines took care of it. Then they gave in and brought them back. That's exactly what happened. If it wasn't for the Catholics pushing too hard.
Barbary pirates. Yeah, you're right, Dan.
Yep. If the Catholics hadn't pushed so hard, folks wouldn't have tried to develop a little bit different religious beliefs and move to the United States either. There's a lot of that to look at.
Christian. Like with the Christian faith, we can fight over doctrine. We can quibble over, penny things. But our faith, and not just our faith, our society is incompatible with Islam. It is 100% incompatible. So to say that all religions are welcome here, they're not.
Islam is not a religion. Islam is a friggin' cult.
It's a political movement.
You want to marry 8-year-olds, you want to cut heads off everybody. That's not a religion. That's a cult.
That's what they're doing in Iran right now. They cut the internet off there. They what's it called? Not the prime minister, but the guy. He would be our AG. He would be our Pam Bondi here. But that guy over there says that they're going to fine all of the agitators. And if they caused property damage or if they were had a big enough influence, they were going to have public beheadings. Now, we don't like the pink-haired protesters here, but we're not calling for their beheading. That's the difference. Islam is not a religion. It's actually a form of government, and you're 100% right. And once they get a foothold over here, that is exactly what's going to happen. Oh, I got your meaning there, Dan. I said Islam. So, and that's one of the things that we we're being pulled in all these different directions. When if we just stuck to the founding, no, this is the original intent of X, Y, and Z. This whole fight that we're having about birthright citizenship shouldn't be a fight. But we have allowed these idiots to just convolute everything. And
9/11 did a lot of that, if you remember. 9/11 did a lot of that, where they were so worried that when they blamed the Muslims, and that's another rabbit hole, okay? But when they blamed the Muslims, that we were going to, as red-blooded Americans, just go hunting down Muslims in the United States, catch Islamophobia, and just destroy everybody, right? Now, in New York City, yeah, probably was some of that. But then you have somebody like Mandami that says the worst person affected by that was his grandmother that couldn't ride the damn subway. Okay, but a lot of this started back then, where once again they were pushing us being called racist if we didn't like Muslims, if we didn't accept it, if we blamed all of them for the attack on the towers. Okay, and that's what started this thing all over again.
yeah, that's oh my God. I think about how they couched all of that rhetoric, and I'm happy. Like I remember when they said the biggest threat to America was like white domestic terrorists, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, what? And again, I am clearly a black dude, and I look. And,
really?
Yeah, dude. Look at this here.
You cover it up pretty good there, man. That beard covers up the chocolate, I guess.
And I'm like, wait, that's not true. And they would come on TV and say, Joe Biden, they woke him up, jabbed him full of steroids, and he got out there. The president of the United States is saying this garbage. And you're just like, wow. We cannot let these people get power again. We can't. It will be the death of America, literally. And I am not being hyperbolic, and I try not to be. But just
I
to
don't care.
see,
So that's the difference between you and I.
yeah,
I can care less what people think of how I'm saying it or what I'm saying of it. I absolutely cannot stand Muslims.
no,
Islam, the religion, the people. I don't care. You look in a snake pit once again and tell me which one isn't poisonous because it's had its teeth removed, fangs removed. You can't tell the difference, so evict them all.
until you're bit, you can't tell the
They're
difference.
going to bite somebody. And I don't think, I'm not after anything. I'm not after blood. Send them home. Let them go home. They stay there. We stay here. We'll get along great. We'll even trade with you. We'll talk to you. We'll have good conversations with you. But if you come over here to start shit, and that's what I'm a little bit worried about right now, is these people that are hiding out and they're ready to get us whenever the opportunity comes. You start shit, we're going to finish it this time. We have to. We have to. We have to.
I think that during our 250th celebration, I think some stuff is going to pop off, and I also I believe I don't think that people like Ilhan Omar or Mandami should be allowed to hold public office. I just don't. And
I don't think anybody with dual citizenship, no matter what country they came from, should be allowed to hold office.
yeah, and again, that's not being weird or I don't even know what you would call it, but I want people with skin in the game, like with people like Ilhan and Mandami and all these other folks. Your family didn't like, and when I say family, I like your grandpa, your great grandpa, your dad. They didn't spill blood for the liberty of this country. You have no vested interest in what makes America great. Zero. So you have no skin in the game. You should have absolutely no say. You shouldn't even be able to vote, in my opinion. Like, again, you look at people like Bob. You look at people like me or Dan or Justin or Doug or any of these people. You just go back one generation: Marines, Air Force, Navy, Army, like, and so those bloodlines have absolute ties to this country because their literal blood is in the soil. Your DNA is in this soil of America. And so when you're a Mandami whose mom was from wherever and dad was from wherever, and you got mommy and daddy money, and you've never had a job, and you don't have any skin in the game, and you're first generation of no, you don't get to do these things. This is what I believe, and people might think that that's weird, but I don't. I believe that blood ties to this country. If your DNA is in the ground in this country, then that's a whole different subject. But if it's not, you don't get to come over here and tell us what we're doing wrong. F you. You know, go back, make Somalia great. Go back and make Iran great, or Bosnia great, or whatever country you come from. If you think that you can make America better with your mentality and that whole socialist, Marxist, whatever you got going, go back and make your own country great again, and then come back here and say, hey, I got some ideas. Do that thing, you know? And I'll digress for 2 seconds.
I got 8 or 9 uncles that served in the United States Army, Air Force, Navy. My cousin, we got feedback like crazy on my end now. Sorry, folks. I've got a cousin who, retired Navy. I've got his brother was, I think he's retired Air Force now. Okay. It's this country is important to us.
Yep.
And to see somebody come in, to be allowed in, to be just invited in, and they're here for the first time and they're starting a family, and to watch them try to tear this nation apart. Well, I mean, you wonder why I'm so excited, guys and gals. I mean, I feel this to the core. I've been as patriotic from age 5 or 6 or under as I am right now. This country is important to me. There's not a racial bone in my body, I don't think. The 2 best friends I got, in so many ways, are 2 of the only conservative brothers in the country, Michael Coachman and Leon. Okay, I love my country for the reason I love my country. People that love it with me are welcome, and I don't care. Say we're kicking these Mexicans and whoever else back out. If they want to turn around, even though they tried it illegally once, that's 1 strike. You want to come in the right way, and you want to respect our flag and our country and our way of life, come on in. You're welcome. You need a place to stay for a while, come on out. I'll hook you up. Yep. We're not the type of bad people that think we are. But the woman that's in Congress tonight that said it again, said the real problem we have right now is me, the white conservative American. And that's what they said was happening in Minneapolis. She was trying to add fuel to the fire by saying that again. That's what's wrong with Minneapolis right now. Okay. And she is, as far as I know, just a citizen. Her dad wasn't, her mom wasn't. I don't know, Talib. Another one of them women that wore the white a few years ago.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Yep. And that kind of rhetoric will fire me up because this is my country.
Yep.
Not being a white man, it's being a man who believes in this country, who served this country. Okay. And I don't want to see it torn down by people that don't give a shit about it.
I'm going to spend 2 seconds on this. And if you're uncomfortable with it, give me 2 seconds. The fact of the matter is, it was the cornbread-fed white boy that freed the slaves. That's who it was. Every war that we fought in, the majority of the people that fought and died for this country were white boys. So you cannot, again, the reason why we had such a deficit during the last 4 years of enlistment was because the white guy was so demonized. I have very good friends of mine who are veterans advised their sons not to enroll back then.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? You get all these weird people that can't do a friggin' push-up enrolling, and your enlistment numbers go way, way down. You cannot demonize the white guy. You cannot do that. Because when you do that, your country goes to crap. It goes to absolute garbage. And I'm not like I love my race. I mean, we could talk for 2 hours about the accomplishments of people like Booker T. Washington. My book, I thought I had it here. In my book for that I wrote for the 8-year-old, 80% of the heroes that are in there are black men and women who overcame adversity, who pulled themselves up by not just their bootstrap, like not even just that, just garbage situations, poverty like you cannot believe. Booker T. Washington walked 50 miles just to attend a school, and he was unlearned. Like everything he taught himself, the little bit of reading and writing he taught himself, he did that himself because he was not allowed to. And the first time he heard of a school that would possibly take him, and they rejected him at first because they were like, "Who is this smelly kid coming here?" He walked 50 miles. He said, "Hey, I'll push him up. I'll clean. I'll do whatever. Just teach me." That's the attitude, and that's the attitude I come from. That is my culture when we're talking about black culture. So I love my culture. It is rich, it is robust, and it is great. It's not the garbage you see on TV. But white people need to be just as proud. I mean, the accomplishments of this country would not be possible. And I'm just, like I said, only 2 seconds on that.
No, it's a good topic.
It makes me mad when I hear people going, "Oh, white men are the problem." No, white men are the reason you have electricity right now. Shut the fuck up. I mean, the infrastructure that we have in America is because of those guys. It pisses me off to a level that I almost get a little irrational and want to just kind of put my hands around somebody's throat. Anyway, I'm done. Well,
no, it's still it's a great topic, but just take this into consideration too. And I don't give a shit. You know me, right? Okay, but the liberals that would watch this segment, these 10, 15 minutes that we would spend on this, are going to say, that dude with the gray beard is nothing but a racist because he says he's got 2 black friends and this, that. Shut up.
I got a couple white guys.
You got 1 or 2 of them for friends? Holy crap, I got a couple of Mexican guys for friends too. Yeah. I don't think I got maybe a couple Oriental guys somewhere, but can I call them Oriental or whatever? Dude, it's been tough to have those discussions. I'm in North Dakota.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of chocolate-colored people in this state, and right now, the ones that are here, the majority of them are from Somalia. They need to get the hell out. Okay, so what am I supposed to say, right? That's my best segue into Fargo, North Dakota right now, because I know you want to tackle Fargo tonight.
Yeah. So let's move to Fargo.
I'm going to let you rip.
Bob was about to go there, boy. By the way, you're both racist. Oh, okay. No, I know Lynette. Lynette is saying that in jest.
Oh, I'm not worried about it a bit.
I want to rewatch Blazing Saddles. Where the white women at? No.
Where the white women at?
Coachman, 803.
Okay, real quick. What did I send you today? The only black dude clip that I've ever sent you in my life.
That was funny.
Little Shirley's son is funny as hell.
Yeah.
He's a blast. Anyway.
I think I'm going to incorporate some of those jokes, actually, in my...
Do people realize that we grew up on Richard Pryor? We grew up on Eddie Murphy. We grew up on Fred Sanford, for God's sakes. Okay, we grew up on, what's his name, that we're going to move on up. We watched people, black people call white people's honky, and laughed our ass off.
Yeah.
We didn't give a shit.
We need to get back to that. Seriously.
Try.
You have no idea the people that I talk to that I can tell that they're walking on pins and needles when they're talking to me. Like I go into offices, I'm a network engineer, and they couch everything that they say because they don't want to culturally appropriate or offend or whatever. And I'm like, we can't have a relationship if it's like that. If it's one-sided, if you're worried about I'm pretty thick. I got a wide back. You're not gonna hurt me with your.
You have figured out that words don't hurt you, and you can't point to which part of the body the word hurts you from.
100%. My dad right now, his favorite show is with Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker. Like, explain that to me. The Dukes of Hazzard. Explain that to me. Anyway, let me go through some of this. I want to.
Dude, we can go for 6 hours today. Wow.
Coachman, Michael is on here. Oh no,
hey, brother.
Dan replying to Coachman. So 803, was it not true in the beginning? You had to be a property owner to vote. That was true. And I agree with that. I believe that you need one of the reasons why we are where we are right now. And I forget what famous guy said this, but he said once the citizens realized that they could vote themselves bits of the treasury, we're going to lose the country, or something to that effect. And that's 100% spot on. These Democrats have figured out if we can get these people who don't have skin in the game to elect us, we give them pennies. We give them, because that's all they're getting. They're getting pennies. And we can have all this power, amass all this wealth, and we can stay in power. They will be an underclass. Give them just enough to survive. Not to get ahead, but to survive. And once they figured that out, so if you don't have skin in the game and someone is going to tell you, I'm going to get you food stamps, housing, medical care, abortion is a right, and all this stuff, society is done. It's done. I used to, when I was in Kansas City, he wasn't the guy on the Blaze, black dude. He used to be a sportscaster on ESPN. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
I'll think of his name here in a minute. He did come around, though. He's a uber conservative now, and I'm glad to see that. But at one point in Kansas City, he was not that. He was a liberal. He was a horrible person. Horrible. A party, drank, the whole thing. And I voted for Coachman over Burgum. Yes, sir. But
I met 3 of us that probably didn't get counted.
Yeah.
Did I say
you want to go into that?
Dude,
I got some emails.
My best Urkel. No.
I got some emails, dude. I got the head of the NDGOP like getting pissed off because people were questioning, some of the. Anyway.
Oh, Prince Perry, Petty Prince Perry. No, let's go back to Fargo. That's even a better. That'll keep my blood pressure lower than Petty Prince Perry.
Not Stephanie Smith, but God, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank.
I get a kick out of Stephen A. Smith, by the way.
I do too. But what I was saying is he said something the other day when he said he was talking about the African American community and how the government had taken the place of the father in the home, and it had been that way for like 50 years. And Steve Hallstrom didn't understand what he was talking about. And I called in and I kind of broke it down. That's the thing. They can break society by doing that one simple thing. The African American community was thriving at one point, even under Jim Crow. We were a religious people, we were a moral people, and we were on the rise. The whole spirit of entrepreneurship and the self-help and the individual, all of that was rich and thriving. And then the government stepped in and said, hey, I'm here to help. How'd that work out?
The worst, like Ronald Reagan said, the worst words you can hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. So back to Fargo, and now we're kind of running short on time. But in Fargo, they are those chuckle nuts, and this is funny to me. Mahoney, after that idiot from Liberia called him a coward, he put all of those special interest commissions on blast. He said, we're going to review all these people because in a budget cutting move, they were just going to axe all of them. So the whole Human Rights Commission and the Native American Commission and the Commission for Arts and Decoration and flowery crap, all of that was on the chopping block. And then they get to the city meeting, and as they're reading through it, Mahoney has this look on his face like not only had he never read it, he did not craft it. He didn't even craft it. And so they tabled it, and they said, okay, well, we're going to table this discussion for another day, blah, 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 this and that. But the fact of the matter is, like the guy that is the head of the Human Rights Commission, he's not even from Fargo. He's from, like, I don't know, Liberia or someplace. And like the grift in Fargo started by John Strand. And this dude, and this is just a little background on him. He ran the High Plains Reader. He's a homosexual. Used to hang out on Broadway, grifting little boys, in my humble opinion. And I hope I don't get sued for that. But yeah, what are they gonna get? My dog. But anyway, all of that garbage was his brainchild. And now they're dealing with the consequences of that. They have a $1 billion shortfall. $1 billion in Fargo. They had their credit rating has been downgraded twice. And Fargo. And they're still asking for money while they're handing money to companies like CI Sports, who got that huge tax incentive, and it was supposed to be for X amount of years. And right when they come to the end of that amount of time where they're going to be putting money back into the kitty, they fold, go bankrupt. The couple of, I mean, it's crazy. And there are like 50 stories like that. It's amazing to me. Now they're going to have a shot. Like they did that whole dumb voting system where you go, this is my first, second, ranked choice. That's what it was. I called it the get Tony Garrick out of city government scheme, because that's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tony Garrick was the only commissioner that kept telling them, no, we can't do this, this and that. But Tony's coming back. So he's running. And I hope he wins. Go to Fargo first. Find out about the issues and the candidates. Because like I said on Jay Thomas's show today, you will not get the real deal from the forum or from KVLY. When I was on the program, there was a reporter talking about some Venezuelan person that got their TPS status revoked for some, and they were doing this, gush piece on that whole thing. And I'm like, oh, come on. If this is our media, especially in Fargo, we're done. If this is the extent of your knowledge base when it comes to local politics, this is why we have a John Strand or a Pepcore or a Mahoney or all of these social justice groups that have gained traction in this area. This is how folks from Chicago, like Faith, can come here and grift to the tune of, what, $500,000 or more? This is why they can come here and do. This is why they had that one guy from Chicago, bow tie wearing idiot, back in the height of BLM. He could come here and get a 6-figure friggin' salary from these idiots, just so that this was his entire job description, to tell white Fargoans how bad they were. That was, and I did a piece in the forum about it, and I was shocked that they even ran the piece. But that was his job description. His job description was cultural diversity and how to teach Fargo to be more culturally sensitive, and basically to tell white people how bad they were and how they could acquiesce some of their power to the colored citizens of Fargo. And I'm just like,
the same thing as all the DEI shit that we had for years that has been shut down, at least officially.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
Yeah. And if you want more of the same, keep voting for these idiots. Vote for Josh Bochee. If you want more of the same, because he is a John Strand Acolyte. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go to commercial, and then we're going to round out the show. Go to Fargo First. They have many, many articles breaking down all of the issues there. I am pro wards, so check out the ward system. Tony Gehrig has an awesome piece. I interviewed him on here, so if you want to actually hear what he has to say about it, I think 3 episodes back, I had him on long form conversation. He lays it all out. Go to Fargo First on Facebook, and what they normally do is they have this huge. They'll do a huge write up, and I'll kind of break it down, and I'll just do the bullet points. So if you're not a guy that's going to sit there and read all of that, when they post something, just wait a bit. I'll reshare it. I'll break it down, bullet point it, and that whole thing. But they have the most comprehensive candidate information, period. And they also break down the things like the needle exchange. If you don't know what a boof kit is, Bob, do you know what a boof kit is?
Oh, what?
Boof, BOOF kit. You don't? You know why? No. Because you're not a sadistic a-hole.
There we go.
The same people that were giving out the crack pipes, and a lot of people in North Dakota have no idea what a boof kit is. Go to Fargo First. You'll be shocked. And I guess I'll give you a little bit. If you don't want track marks in your arm and you want to hide the fact that you're shooting up, they give you kits where you can anally use your drugs. So,
how many times are we gonna have to tear down Sodom and Gomorrah?
When I first saw that, I'm like, "There's no way this is real." Yep, that's what they do there: crack pipes, needles, boof kits, paraphernalia, all the stuff that if you get pulled over with, you'll go to jail for because it's drug paraphernalia. But apparently, the city of Fargo. Wait. The
but
free
if
needle
you
thing,
get caught in the city of Fargo, driving down the street, get pulled over, and your rifle's not in a case, look out.
But you can get a boof kit when you get out. So look at Coachman say, what? Yeah, dude, Fargo First. Go to Fargo First's Facebook page and or type in boof kit in Fargo and article will it's crazy. When I first heard about the crack pipes and they were trying, these idiots, again, this shows you that they live in a bubble. The only way I even knew about the needles and the crack pipes or whatever is KVLY did this fluff piece on this organization that was giving out all of this crap. And then she was talking about it. And then they held one up, and I'm like, wait, that's a crack pipe. Wait, what? That just piqued my interest. And I'm like, that's a crack pipe. Dude, I'm black. I grew up in the ghetto. I know what a crack pipe is, you know. And so I did a little blurb about it. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And then Fargo First. They did a whole write-up about what was going on, how much money, and to the tune of like 3 million needles had been given away, and these crack pipes, and then they, and this is the power of this medium does. Within a day, they had turned that around and said they were going to pause the whole crack pipe distribution within a day. And then it was on the next agenda for the city commission. And then they said, we're not going to do that anymore. But we're still going to give out needles and boof kits. So, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. North Dakota. And again,
we shouldn't be talking. This is Chicago stuff.
Yeah.
But if you wake up, North Dakotans, and look at this state, It's just as bad as any other state in the nation, and worse.
It's getting there.
We've got a damn governor that dropped the flag to half-mast for some California senator today.
Oh,
are you shitting me?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Bob, I didn't mean to get you upset.
No, dude, it's not. Nothing gets me upset anymore. I laugh it off because it's. But don't say they can't get any dumber because, dude, they take it to heart.
The second you say that,
I mean, you know, you and I can sit and pick this stuff apart, and everybody needs to remember this is our opinions. We've educated ourselves pretty good. This is our opinions. Realistically, we're here for entertainment value. We're giving you some good information. We're trying to educate you enough to, if nothing else, you go out and find the information for yourself. And then you can call me out on it if I'm wrong. I encourage that every time. And I'll admit it if I was wrong. Okay.
Yep.
We're going to try to get you to wake up a little bit more, give you a little more information that we happen to, I don't know if we can call ourselves insiders, but we're involved a lot more than most people ever had time for.
Yep.
Okay. We're not experts, but we can laugh about growing up and watching, I don't know, Fat Albert and not get mad at each other. What, you know,
hey.
Right? But just do your own research. But if you're a thinking individual, you'll realize that the swamp that is Fargo is way worse than many, many cities out there. And if you want to change it, you damn sure better not vote for Bochee.
Yeah. So this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't give a shit. If we quit giving Narcan to crackheads, the problem with I'm right there. That's me right there in a nutshell. I am not one of those guys that believe that, like this gal who, and again, so the gal that runs that little program, she makes 6 figures. So of course she's going to fight tooth and nail to stay there, right? You know. So
we screwed up somewhere. We didn't learn to hand out crack pipes. We didn't learn to start luring centers. I mean, why are we who we are? We missed the bus, man.
Yeah. And again, I bust my hump every day. Like today, I'm running ragged, man. I barely got here. And then some idiot can open up a leering center and get $2.5 million. That pisses me off. It makes me mad.
6 figures to teach DEI to white people? I can do that.
I can do that. And I said that. I said I would do it for half the money. I would do it for half the friggin'. If you want a black dude to tell you how horrible you are, the city of Fargo, I will do it with a plum for half the money and half the office space. And I won't even wear a bow tie. I'll just come in with my southern accent and go, hey, you know, I'll go George Jefferson on them. You know, if that's what you need to get you through the day, I'm your man. But anyway, has anybody did an interview of any of the Somali learning centers in Fargo yet? You know, that would be maybe
I was asked about this, and if you and I would get considered any of that, and you know, I think we'd be better off to a point just inviting Nick Shirley down here and saying, buddy, get after it, would you please? That's outside my purview. That's not what I do best.
I'll go there.
You know,
I'll go there.
I'll run the camera for you, brother. I'll run the camera for you.
Most awesome. They'll know something is up. 2 bearded dude coming there, 100%. And again, back to the that center that's handing out all of that garbage. You don't get that without a liberal city commission. And one of the things, Rob, I cannot stand, dude, Michael, hear me when I say this. I loved Leon's Leering Center. Screw you, Doug. I loved Carol. Carol and I used to speak once a week. Ask my wife. She got jealous of us at one point. I love Raleigh. When I first came to Fargo, Rob and Dustin Garlow, those were the 2 dudes that I palled around with a ton. I do not understand how those guys are the guy, and I use that word very, very loosely, and I think I've been public about that. So I don't understand how they fell so far off the rail. Like, and this brings me to another point. The North Dakota Republican, in my humble opinion, is way too liberal. Rob Port gets a lot of his insider information for people, and I back check, like his last article when he was talking about the young Republicans and blah blah. The guy that gave him that is a registered Republican, and on his social media, he's a Republican. And I'm like, how does this happen? How does this happen? It means
we're easily influenced by the big tent attitude, and let's bring up Matthew Simons right now, the president of the NDGOP. God knows he's got his hands full. He's trying to do the best he can for the real conservatives, the real Republicans in this state. But the deck is stacked against him, and there's not a whole lot we can do other than keep, hollering his name and praising him, and thanking him and doing what we can to support somebody who's actually a Republican. And Port couldn't do Port wouldn't know what journalism was if it fell from the air and started wiggling, dude. It's just, he's gone so far crazy. Dustin the same damn way. My only thing there is Port I used to like for a short period of time. Dustin never fooled me. I never had any time for Dustin. But it's embarrassing.
At one point, Rob asked me to write for his blog.
Wow.
That's how close we were. And like, I got proof of that. So, but my fear is, and anyone that's hearing me speak and hearing Bob speak, and you think we're way too far right, this is what I want you to take away from this stream. Guys like me and Bob, we might be what you would call right-wing extremists or whatever, but we're what's going to keep the right center. That's the thing. Because when it goes the other way, you get a Rob friggin' Port. That's the end result of that. You want people like me holding you to the center. Because if not, we're not a red state. We are a purple state at best. But until all the blue hairs kind of die out, the R is valuable. That's it. That's it.
We've been a purple state for decades. You can't pull me to the left. I haven't moved from left to right in all of my life. I've been right here where I'm at. The left has moved farther left, loonier and loonier and loonier, and the right is moving left. I haven't changed. And believe it or not, there's people that are a lot more right-wing than you and I are.
Yep. And okay. Michael, I say 99% of one, 100% of the other. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to hit this last break, and then we're going to wrap this up. We'll be right back. Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic on the Guns in the 701 Network with my good buddy, Big Dog Bob Wheeler. We'll be right back right after this.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just 1 block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon, Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
This is Leon Francis on Blackbeard Logic on the Guns and the 701 Network. Let's get it.
Man, that little baby dancing Trump gets me every time. The first time I saw it, I was like, hell yeah.
Did you see what Trump said the other day about Melania and him doing that dance?
No.
Oh, she hates it when he does it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she keeps telling me, are you going to do that stupid dance again? He says, they love it. I'm going to do it.
John,
so it's unpresidential. He says, they love it. I'm going to keep doing it.
I saw light heavyweight champion of the world, MMA, John Jones. When he won that fight, Trump was just sitting in the audience. Did you see him? This big, burly dude. He's out there. Just
absolutely.
Like, that is awesome. So I put in, just for the folks that, aren't familiar with Fargo First, I put that in the chat there. Fargo First, click on that link. They have just a ton of information. I was going to say something about booth kits, but I'm just going to leave that alone. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to order probably a case of these. The Doctrine of the Lesser Magistrates, Proper Resistance to Tyranny, and a Repudiation of Unlimited Obedience to Civil Government. And again, this book here teaches you, it's a wealth of information on intercession between you and a tyrannical government and the layers that are put between individual rights and sovereignty and a tyrannical federal government. This is a really good book to read. And if you guys DM me on my Facebook page, I will get you a copy. I'm going to order a case of these because I want them on hand. I have a couple of them, but I want to order a case of them because every politician I meet is going to get one of these. So, and one of my little pocket constitution. Again, this is Leon Francis. This is the Guns and the 701 Network. Please like, subscribe, and share. We are on all of the social media platforms. That's Spotify. That's anything with an RSS feed, we're on there. We're on iHeart. We're on iTunes. We're on all of that. I'm partial to Spotify. I know that Clay is partial to iHeart, but also on Rumble, on YouTube, obviously Facebook and Twitter, Twitch, all of those platforms. We're on there. Just look for Guns and the 701 Network. We're right there, Coach. I don't know how I knew that Coach would know this book, but he does. So, yeah, it's a good book. And Bob, next time you're over, you're getting a copy of this bad boy. Because I've heard you speak, and I thought maybe you were speaking about this book. You spoke about the role of the sheriff. I was like, oh, so Bob has obviously read this book. So no, but you're just smart like that. It's the beard.
I don't ever want to claim. I'm going to say this real quick while we're closing out.
Okay.
People send me things all day long, right? And I try to be polite and check a lot of things out. I love the memes, the short little things, right? But when I talk about the things I talk about, I try not to get too much outside influence. Okay, I like it to come from my gut, from my heart, and my mind. Okay, my belief system, what I've been educated on, what I pick up here and there. So the sheriff thing has been part of my belief system for decades, right? I have a real problem with law enforcement and the structure anymore when our sheriffs won't stand up. I can't stand game wards, not because I'm doing things wrong, but they're not doing their jobs correctly, and their power is being abused, things like that. So I try, don't take it personal, folks. If you're sending me all sorts of stuff, God love you, and I do open them and I look at them. But I try to keep, especially on like days like today, I try to keep my mind just on my knowledge, what I've heard here and there.
I get it.
Stuff you and I share back and forth on days like this, to kind of keep our minds going towards what we want to talk about. It's all cool, and it's appreciated, and I love it. Yeah. Coach, I haven't got all your emails read yet. Oh, good Lordy. Coach gets in a roll. It's going to take you a couple of days to get through his emails, but his messages. But, yeah, it's just natural. It's just how I believe, and God bless America. We'll get back to this the right way, and we'll get our sheriffs back someday, and I hope I'm alive to see it, man.
I hope it doesn't take America being shaken to its core. And when I say that, like 9/11 was bad. It was bad, and it brought us together a bit. But what I'm afraid of is it's going to take something big to get us back to where we need to be. We're too soft. We're too soft as a country. We've been basically taught to. Rush used to say brown bag our masculinity, our patriotism, our Christianity, all of that. We for too long we've been brown bagging this thing, and I know, like, I could in my phone I have 100 guys right now that if I say, hey, it's going down, they're going to arm up and we'd meet somewhere, down on 46. So I know that they're out there, I know that they're out there. Sometimes it just doesn't feel that way, and I'm hoping it doesn't take a catastrophic event to get us.
You want to avoid that, Leon?
Yeah.
Do we want to remember what we do to avoid that? Ladies and gentlemen, get involved at the lowest level possible and stick with it. It doesn't take much. If you believe like we do, and you believe in the rule of law, and you believe in our Constitution, and you believe in the school system needing to teach children how to think, not what to think, get involved in your city councils, in your mayor races, in your districts in North Dakota. Get involved in the damn school board. Run for dog catcher. I don't give a damn. Get involved with the system at the lowest level possible, and you will change this country without bloodshed. But if you really don't care, keep sitting on your ass at home on the couch playing armchair quarterback and watch us go down the damn toilet.
Doug, calm the hell down.
But am I right?
You're right. But Doug said, when? What do we do? When is this thing kicking off, basically?
Well, we just don't want that. We don't want that event that you're talking about to happen, because
I don't.
I do not want to be in a civil war, because I don't want to be shooting at my brothers and sisters, okay? And I don't want to be in a revolution.
What kind of American are you?
Which is
type
what I
deal.
look at it as. It's not a civil war; it's another revolutionary war if we get into one,
Yep.
because that weakens us even more for Russia or China to come in and say, hey, these guys aren't paying attention to squat. Let's go and take it over. We don't need that. We don't want it. And am I
100%.
prepared for it? The best of my ability,
Yep.
right? But we don't want that. We don't. It doesn't have to come to this. But incidents like happened in Minneapolis, that's going to be a trigger for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
If we're not careful.
If we're not careful, you're right about that. And again, when we're speaking, you hear a lot of passion. And I know for a fact that the media doesn't show you guys like me and Bob and Michael and Doug and gals like Lynette and like my wife and or Dan and his wife but there are a lot of us out here. There are a lot of us. But what the left is very good at doing is creeping into every aspect, every facet, every administration that they can get into. That, and when Bob says all the way down to dog catcher, you do realize that the big fight I had, the absolute most interactions I've ever received on social media is when I had that fight with that idiot at City Hall in Fargo when he was talking about Charlie Kirk and how basically he deserved to get killed and whatnot. They're all the way at that level. That's the city level. He's a city employee, and he is the I think health manager of the city employees.
Mm-hmm.
They get in everywhere, while we're working our butts off just to raise our family. We move out of the city. We do things like that, and I don't think that was a mistake on my part. I love being out here. I can't see myself ever living in a city again, ever. But what you can do is, especially if you have the time, you got to run for these positions. Is one of the reasons I like Michelle is because she was like, you know what, nuts to this. I'm running for the city commission seat. We need people like that. You don't get drag time story hour if you have a conservative school board. You don't get that. These teachers that worm their way into our kids' minds. You don't get that if you have watchdogs. If you have, instead of a Kirsten Baszler, you have, I don't know, Wendy Johnson as DPI. You don't get that. You don't get it. So that's what we have to do. Or, as Clay says, keep your powder dry and just wait for the event because it's coming. They're going to push us. They're going to poke the bear and poke the bear and poke the bear. We can, now that I'm thinking about it, we can walk this back. It is going to take a little time, though. And what we have to do is Fargo has elections coming up. They have city commission seats up for grabs. They have the mayor seat up for grabs. They have the ward system up for grabs. Go to Fargo first, find out about it, and then turn out. Turn out. And that's all I got to say on that. Problem is there is more than one Democrat party. There's and one that is, yep, you're right about that, Brian. 100%. Leon or Bob for sheriff. I don't have the temperament. I talked about this today. I could not be one of those guys standing there when some dumb nose ring, pink-haired lesbian is screaming in my face. I can't do it, dude. I'd be the guy on TV that just goes, you know what? F it. And we're rolling. we're done. I can't do it. I am a good guy in Tombstone. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I love you guys. Bob, I love you for coming on here and chopping it up with me. When you come down, if you want this book, you got it. Bob is leaving us. Can I say that or no?
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can say it.
Bob is. So this is bittersweet for me because I like seeing you happy. I could wish nothing else other than that. But the fact that, we just got simpatico, man, and now you're going to take I'm like, what the hell, man? Who am I going to talk to? I'm going to sit here talking to my hand now. Like, nobody out there is as crazy as me. I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm not saying you're crazy. But who am I going to talk to like this, dude?
Dude, we can still do it from Arizona.
All right.
We won't have as much knowledge about Fargo, but you think I'm going to go to sleep because I moved. You're crazy.
You're going to be too happy, man. Like, you only get dour Bob when, if you're there and you're with her and there are butterflies and you're
I'm headed for off-grid. Okay, I'm mostly going to be off-grid. The only thing we will have at this point is water. That's, one of them Arizona things. Thank God for rural water on that, and it's all well water. To start with, no, we're still not going to have electricity. We're not going to. We've got some indoor plumbing type situations, but our shower is an inline water heater out on the wall with a nice little shed around it. And
I'm
looking forward to Arizona. There's a lot more there than I ever thought to that state, and I am looking forward to that. And if you know me at all, guys and gals, life's too short. I want to spend the rest of it with a damn good woman, which I have down there waiting for me, and I want to spend it on the back of a Harley. I want to see this country.
Yeah.
I've seen some states in this country, and I've seen some other countries, but nothing is more important to me right now than seeing this nation, if I can, and enjoying, relaxing for as much life as the good Lord's going to let me have. I want to do as much of it on the back of a Harley, and I can ride 12 months out of the year, basically down there in Arizona, stop for monsoon days here and there, or just leather up. You know what I mean? I'm being called down there hard. First of all, it was because of my Karen. Okay. But then to look at Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, it's going to take a lot to get me to cross that line into California. She may do it because her son is over there. She may get me to cross it, but boy, that's going to be rough. But just to kind of live life, and with my health, I'm not complaining, but the hot, dry heat is going to be a whole lot better for me than this humidity. And I'm looking forward to being able to get up and breathe and get cooped up in the house too much in the winter. When you got some of the conditions I got, it's not good for you. So
it's not good for me either. I don't like it. Like my wife will tell you, I am the most healthy when it's the hottest. In the summertime, I'm out there hitting the heavy bag. I'm out there on the Bowflex. I'm lifting the weights. In the winter though, oh my God, I get moody. I get irritable. It's not. My knee starts acting up. I'm just like, oh, I hate myself.
Weather-induced depression is a real thing, and us North Dakotans, Midwesterners, Westerners, we deal with that. And when I never thought I'd be. I even laughed at the fair weather folks that would run down there, the snowbirds.
Snowbirds, yeah.
And now I'm going to become a full timer, but I'm 53 years old. I got a choice, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the edge of Tucson, the far northeast edge of Tucson. I won't be able to hardly see town from where I'm at. 1 acre chain link fence, about 8 foot tall. Come after me, boys and girls. Come on.
Hey, you promised me some shooting lessons before you go, though, right?
You'll get them, brother. You'll get them.
All right. There we go. And on that, I'm going to end this. Thanks for all of you guys that are tuning in. Again, smash that like, subscribe, go to all these social media platforms. Do the same. Download the Spotify app. Check me out there. I know Clay is partial to the iTunes, so if that's your thing, knock yourself out. I'm a Spotify guy. I'm hoping to have Bob on a couple more times before he rides out into the sunset. I like talking to you, man. I just do, and I'm not gonna have a bro moment here, but because I'm not that type of dude. I got, there's too much of that going on, but we're
good together, brother. There's no, it's just that chemistry when it comes together, and like you say, chop it up like this. We do good, we do good.
Yeah.
My grammar sucks, but we do good.
I'm a Southern boy, man. My grammar sucks all. anywhere north of the Mason-Dixon, my grammar is garbage. So anyway,
there you go. I love doing this, and I love doing the Tuesday thing with Rick Jensen and our David. Yep. It's always too short over there with 20 minutes. I'm stealing from Coach. Over here, I do love the fact that we can run a little over. Clay isn't too mad yet, and we're in good shape.
Well, I got my phone off, so I can't hear him yelling at me. So. What are we at? 2:29. Jesus. My phone is going to be off all night, Clay. So, guys, God bless. Good night. Leon Francis, Bob Wheeler on the Guns in the 701 Network. This is Blackbeard Logic. God bless.